Alright, hello everyone. I think people are still getting in the server, but I want to get this all rolling so that people could hang out and we could get get into this as soon as possible. Obviously, you guys are here to see the remaining Div 2 semifinal match. I actually think it's the last semifinal match, period, for any of the divisions. But either way, this is a Div 2 one. This is Table for 6 versus Cheesecake. Everybody's just kind of getting in the server at this point, hanging out, doing the normal type thing. They still haven't picked a map yet. I think they said looked like it was T6's choice. Let me read through here. You guys pick this map. I guess Cheesecake is picking first. I think. So they have their choice of obviously the map or what team to pick, since, at least theoretically, they're being quite chatty in chat at the moment. Obviously, I believe we have most people on the server, as I already mentioned. So, are we actually going to be? It looks like we might actually be starting here on Vale. I don't know. Are we? Not sure, but at the moment we have most people in here. Anyway, hope you guys are doing okay. I was out the morning, so I missed the streams that have already happened today. I hope those were all good. I'll have to go back and watch the VODs for those. We had the Div 3 semifinals and also the Premier semifinal one that was remaining. So as I said, I hope those were good. I'm gonna have to go back and see how those were. Obviously, I think that this should be a pretty good matchup. This is, after all, two NA teams, and it's probably one of the few rare instances where this would actually be able to happen in the semifinals. I think it should be a good game. Both of these teams, both Cheesecake and Table for Six, are comprised of a lot of good shots, some smart players. Yes, just overall should be good. Let's see here. Look, also one thing to note is, they do have a lot of like former Div 1 players, I think, that have just like been, either they were out for a little while, out most of the season, but by the end of the season, these are the rosters we ended up with. Looking for Cheesecake, who appear to be, at least, unless they change their mind and decide that this isn't actually the map that we're playing on. Cheesecake's roster is Fuglev, who is obviously the Calm, Zaloco, Colt, Canny, Boom, and Wake. And it looks like T6 has a lot of silly names there. Let me take a quick check here and see who's actually who. Okay, so the guy who's T6 with the carrot is Tap. Where's the other person that I was curious about? Let me just read through. Zero. Okay, is that everyone? Am I missing anybody? Oh, tearing it for 6. Where is that? Okay, that's Terran. Okay. So then we've got Flo, we've got Terran it for 6, who is Terran, we've got Trademark, Barcode, who is their commander, KMG, and T6 with the up bracket is Tap. So that's who's going to be playing today. I'm looking forward to seeing how this actually goes. Both these teams play pretty dang well. As I already mentioned, they, were pretty. Let me take a quick look here, actually, at the roster, or at how the scores went for the actual, season matches. If the page will load, because, gotta see how that goes. Anyway, Cheesecake was second in theirs, and Table for Six was topping their group divisions. So, a good matchup, definitely. Anyway, looks like we're gonna go get right into this. Was participating in a quick warm-up versus Cheesecake, so hope, couple of quick warm-up rounds versus Cheesecake before this all got started. It is best of 7, yes, as KMG is mentioning, so it's first team to 4 wins, regardless of how many rounds that takes. Well, obviously 7 max. But yeah, we're gonna get right into round 1 here on Vale. Alright, 5 seconds until round 1 here. This is, I know, Cheesecake's favorite map, or at least was it last time I heard. And obviously, we're going to have a cargo spawn for T6, so we'll have to see how Cheesecake plays out this, which is theoretically their favorite map. Looks like they're going to go for an arm slab. They're just sort of power building it, but Kenny is going to walk out over there into Topo to get that built. Meanwhile, we have 3 going up, well, 3-ish, going towards the left side of the map. Ah, never mind. They changed their mind. Either way, they're going right for armor 1. Oh, that's interesting. We have 4 going down the the skylight side of things. Normally, if you're seeing a 3 push anywhere, it'd be down Topo. But so they have three skulks. T6 has three skulks positioned over on skylights, and there are only two over here on top. There's Tap and Trademark, and Trademark's already under half health. He's just has a sliver of health. Tap just got wrecked there by Boom, and Wake's still a little bit hurt, but not too bad. And here they come. Obviously, the rest of T6 have had time to position themselves. KMG goes in alone, almost kills Boom. Boom. Here comes Terran, here comes Barcode actually out of the hive. They're gonna go through. They managed to take down Wake. Zoloko's gonna back up a little bit. He might take down Trademark. He may actually take down Terran too. He does take down Terran. Flo is still at full health. He looks like he will take down Zoloko, and he does. So the remaining two T6 guys are gonna run up there and run into Colt. Flo gets chipped, Tap gets chipped, Tap goes down. Meanwhile, over on the other side, we see Canny is hanging out here in East. So though that initial base rush, or well, not really base rush, nano rush I meant, wasn't exactly successful. Definitely, I think, might have caught T6 a little bit off guard, because it seemed like they had their skulks positioned in a really awkward position for stuff going down the skylight side of things. Anyway, we've got Canny over there alone. He is able to take out Terran. Colt is going into Nano all alone. Doesn't wake for Wake, which probably would have, possibly saved him. Barcode is still out of the hive. Looks like he's going to go down, though. Meanwhile, Tap takes down, who is that? Canny. Tap is already at half health. He gets taken down by Wake, so Wake can just go in there and clear out the cysts and clear out the Drifter. That's, of course, a nice chunk of res there. He's able to take that out. Here comes Flo and KMG over there to try and clear that up. They weren't able to clear out the cysts, obviously, but with the Drifter down, that's a nice bit of starting res that they are, without. With Barcode out of the hive so much, he hasn't been able to set up the harvesters in there, but Cheesecake has been keeping some good pressure into Nano. So they'll just have to watch out and make sure that they don't leave base completely open. We're seeing Boom getting taken down by Terran there. KMG also came into support, but he has like no health, so as soon as he runs into that group, he's just gonna get absolutely wrecked by any stray bullets. But here comes the whole group. They back Colt and Zoloko into a corner there. Terran's still alive, Flo's still alive, and they should be able to take down Zoloko, and they do. Here comes County, he's down there. That's sort of the entrance to Nano, kind of, in this sort of connector. He takes down Terran. Flo's just in the vent, just sort of out of range, but Kenny's gonna just back up to East. I mean, at this point, Table for 6 is only now starting the RTs in Nano, so a little bit of delay on there. If we take a look at the res graph while we're here, the fight going on over here in C12, it's taken them quite a while to get up that second RT. Meanwhile, obviously Cheesecake has had theirs up. They're putting up their fourth RT right now. Colt is just hanging over there in East. Meanwhile, we've got KMG versus Zoloka over here. Zoloka is able to clear out KMG and continue on down. We've got Colt versus Terran. Terran ends up winning that, and it looks like he's going to go up and try and take down the Sky RT. Wake, it looks like I don't know whether he changed his mind and decided to go back to try and defend that or what, but either way, Tap was waiting around. Obviously, Wake is sneaking back a little bit, takes a couple shots at Tap. He can't really close that distance very well, just because it's a nice long hallway, but he's right up on the wall there. Obviously, with Armor 1, Weapons 1, and no upgrades currently up for T6, even though I'm assuming they're probably dropped at this point, but either way, it looks like everybody's going to converge and take out Wake. That's 3 skulks for 1 Marine. It seems a little bit overkill there. They did lose one of the group, and the remaining 2, Terran and Tap, are both kind of chipped. We do have a lurk up, at least one so far, so we have Flo up his lurk. Depending on who they've got, I think we might end up seeing Tap as lurk, potentially. Anyway, okay, there we go. Finally getting the shells up. A little bit late there. They're already getting shotguns to counter the higher life forms at close range, obviously. Flo cleaning up Zoloko down there in pipe. Looks like they're just going to keep trolling around over there. Yep, it is Tap up as the other lurk. We've got Colt and Wake over there, and it looks like Terran and Trademark are trying to bait some bullets out of him. Terran gets taken out. A little bit of chip damage on Tap. Trademark is going to go down to Wake, and they're going to hold that position there in Overlook. They are getting phase gate tech, so they will be able to get a gate somewhere. A good position on the map. At this point, finally, Table for 6 is getting their RTs up. They are taking down C12, obviously, as we can see. It looks like we're going to have a 3 push with 2 shotguns in that mess, moving into system to try and get the gate established there. It'll obviously lock down the left hand of the map a bit, assuming they're able to get that set up. with Boom and Zoloka, both with shotguns, and regardless of Tap coming in behind, Wake probably isn't going to hear him, but now that the spiking has been there, they know that Tap is there, and if they get a couple... Oh, nope, he's under the floor, just kidding. They might have been able to take him down if he'd been actually, you know, up where they could shoot him. So power is up, they're going to get the gate right over there on the little platform. Meanwhile, we have Tap, it looks like, going towards their base. And along with Terran. So they're going to see if they can pull anyone out. Kenny was actually building the gate. He goes down before the gate is built, and it looks like that was at 92%. And here comes the other lurk. So here's the thing, they really are going to have to force that beacon. They do have the gate up, though, so they can just port back as soon as that gate is done. Here comes Trademark in there to work on that gate. Meanwhile, up here, they scared that off, and they do have the gate up, so they can just go back through and kill Trademark, probably. Tap and Terran were both showing up there as well. Trademark's really chipped. There we go. No Marine deaths in that engagement. They are going to be able to weld up and be safe to continue on to whatever they find there. It looks like Tap is just working on an RT at this point. He ends up backing off. I think he heard Canny coming, so he's going to just hide in the vent there and see what happens. Ooh, we've got KMG up there in Topo, and it looks like they're actually assisting in there rather aggressively. Meanwhile, we've got 3 in there into Nano, so they're going to try and get rid of those RTs so the table for 6 is not on 6 RTs. But we have 3 going into the base right now, and they're all going to converge on the gate. Wait, somebody port back through. We have Wake through at this point. He does take out the Skulk. And the Blurks are forced to retreat. However, guess there's Terran on the gate there in System. And Boom is probably not going to be around the corner fast enough to be able to take them off. There goes the gate, however, they have Canny and Boom both in there. Versus a couple Skulks, so they should be able to take those out no problem. And here comes the Loco and Colt after taking out the Crag and the Harvesters there in Nano. So going back to that, yeah, they've taken out some of the Harvesters finally. They got table for 6 back on a much more manageable 4 RTs. But since that's still sisted in Nano, they're just going to be able to redrop those whenever. I mean, they have 36 res, and it looks like just given the fact there's the Drifter right here, they're setting up to get a Pipeline Hive as their next Hive. And Tap just got scanned there over in Skylights. They're a little bit... Cheesecake's running a little bit low on res at this point. We got Tap again on the Hive, or on the gate there. The Hive has been dropped over in Pipeline. Colt is there all alone, but here come all the Fades. We have Trademark and KMG as Fades. And just life forms everywhere, but nobody seems to be dying, really. They're able to save the gate, and they really need a recap. Cheesecake's only on 3 RTs, which would be the one, where is the third? Oh, where is the third RT? Oh, it's one of the ones in Nano. Okay, they only have one of the ones in Nano built. But it looks like they're going to try and clear that up. Here, there's Boom and Zoloco, and they're in there versus, oh, KMG gets very low, but he isn't able to get taken down. Just in the wrong position there to be able to clip the Fade and take him out. We got Terran, again, back on the gate. And it pulls back 3 of the Marines. Meanwhile, their 1 RT there in Nano is getting taken down. They need to have somebody just hold in there and just not let that go down because they're going to lose the power there in Nano because there's, what, 2 lurks on it? They haven't taken down any of the life forms as of yet. So power's down in Nano. And there are 3 shotgunners just kind of waiting around to try and figure out what the heck to do. I mean, they're sisting everywhere across the right side of the map. Yeah, sure, we've got Canny down there waiting, I'm assuming, to be able to get the RT down. It looks like there it was just dropped. There's a nice bone wall in there to split up all the Marines. KMG getting a little bit chipped on the way out. Trademark taking down one of them. Boom and Wake still alive. It looks like people escaping out underneath Nanogrid through the vent system. We actually just locked Tap. Oh, both lurks down right there. Let's see, what res are they at? They can just instantly re-lurk. Yeah, sure, they won't have any upgrades. But whatever. They have plenty of res. Anyway, let's see here. We have Colt and Zoloco just hanging out by the gate at this point. KMG's just waiting around the corner to see if he could probably pick one, but at this point, what have we got? We had a Skulk there in base, chomping on the arm slab, it looks like. He did get picked off right around the corner there. Kenny's taking out that Harvester, and he'll see if he can recap that. And Tap is just hiding right under the floor there, getting his upgrade. I'm assuming getting regen so that he can actually get the heck out. Am I talking too fast? I'm sorry. I'm actually awake this time. I end up doing a lot of morning casts, and I'm not quite functioning at some points during during those earlier casts. And we got Zaloka just kind of having a staring contest there with Terran, who's decided that he's just going to skip through the vent and go elsewhere. They're going to finally get Nanogrid up, so they are up to 4 RTs now. And Trademark and KMG are just walking. Literally, they're walking as fades over there. And I think Boom has seen him. Gets a couple little snipes on Trademark, I think. Obviously, this Hive and Pipeline is up. And it looks like we had 2 Skulks versus 1 Marine in there, and the only survivor was Tap, who ends up going out of there. Didn't quite finish clearing that up. Having the battle here with the Fades, KMG also getting coming out. Trademark going back in for a moment there, and he ends up getting out with half health. Courteously, partially due to that bone wall. Anyway, Tab again getting his upgrade right there. Zaloka probably heard that, and Terran's also heading in that vicinity, but of course they don't want to lose that gate. That is like their map position, period, at this point. They need to get another gate on the map, but you can see that at this point, the entire right half of the map is currently under T6's control. And though they are getting their 6 RT up for Cheesecake, it's still, I mean, they still have all the life forms. Okay, there is the other gate. It's actually in Nano, which is a fairly defensive gate. All things considered, they really need to take out at least one of those fades. Because Terran, who does appear to be their Onos, at this point is up to 51 res. They need to clear out the res. They need to hit this before they end up, you know, with the Onos on the field. I know that Cheesecake likes ending games before the Onos becomes a factor. They like taking their shotguns into hives and just wasting them, but at this point with 2 hives, it'll be a little bit harder. They may actually have to go for arcs. Obviously, they now do have Umbra for T6, but it looks like Flo did re-lurk, so he is going to be their Umbra lurk for this thing, and looks like we're going to have Terran run directly into County, but he's going to escape. Obviously, you can see here, they've totally just ditched the right half of the map, which has allowed Table for 6 to hold on to 4. Here comes Boom around the corner. A little bit too late to save his buddy, but there are 2 there waiting around the corner, and if he's able to get a couple good picks here, he's actually able to clear that out. Barely any health left, but he's good to go, and he'll go and start working on clearing out Tapo so they can get that back. Trademark there, taking a peek into Nano. Wake was watching and waiting. Okay, looks like Boom and Kenny are going to be the dedicated recappers now, trying to cut the res on the right side of the map. All right, looks like Terran just did go Onos. Where is he? They do have charge going. There's his egg. So he'll be heading up towards System, probably potentially. At least that's the close one. Nope. He just wants to troll me. He's gonna head up towards the dome, where I think there are some other people waiting. It looks like they're gonna go. I don't know where they're gonna go. They may end up going towards Nano, potentially, or just grouping up and hoping that they can get a good base hit. And here we go. Here goes the group into Nano. They're gonna go right under the gate, except for the lurk and the fades. Fade down. Trademark down. Lose 1 fade in that engagement. Does he have enough res? He's only 13 res at this point. But it looks like Tap may end up going fade if he... at least I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tap fading as soon as he has... no, basically he has enough res now. He could go fade. But it looks like Cheesecake just ended up losing what they had in Nano. Sure, they held that for a while. They actually got a gate up now in C12, so they changed their map position slightly. We still got the Onos there in Nano. We'll have to see what happens there. Looks like they're gonna roll right over towards System. Meanwhile, guess what? Shotguns in the hive. Oh, they really need to get this A. Come on, come on. Get over there. No, Tap ended up hatching. He did go fade, and if they need to turn around and just waste his fade. His fade needs to get melted right now. But it looks like they're gonna take out the hive. So there goes that. They did lose the gate in System. They're gonna beacon back just in time to be able to prevent this from, happening. And they'll be able to get back through the gate and regain some positioning there. Obviously, with the Onos still on the field, that is, an issue. They obviously haven't redropped it yet. They don't have enough res to redrop a hive. But at this point, it's just, let's see here. Wow, look at the nice pyramids here that have appeared on the res graph. If KMG just waiting around the corner, but Zaloka spotted him, gets a nice shot on him. Obviously, with Flo still up as the Umber Lurk, that's, they need to take out Flo. They really do. So everybody's kind of just flailing around the map a little bit. They really need to get rid of those cyst chains though, and it looks like some of the cysts have been taken out, so that should happen eventually. But they just really need to get rid of it now. They need to not have that risk be there of bone walls in inconvenient places. Well, it's two shotgunners down here versus two fades. The two fades are actually going to back out. At this point, it looks like most of the pressure is on the left side of the map. We have Trademark working on the power there in Topo, which has been cleared. Zloka's not going to make it in time to be able to prevent that from going down. They're doing as well with lane blocking at this point. They're letting the skulks kind of just prowl around. Trademark does get cleared over there. They need to get rid of that Sis chain. Here comes the Onos. Boom and Wake versus the Onos and two fades. And Boom gets, like, looked like he maybe got caught on the wall a little bit there, but he may take down Tap. Just a couple of bullets to take out Tap, and Colt may be able to take him out. Maybe Colt, yeah, okay, Tap is down. Terran is getting Umbra'd, so he's gonna get out with half health. But at this point, they're down to one fade, one lurk, one Onos. Taking a look at the Skulk res, Trademark is enough to go lurk, but so if Flow does go down, that shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, table for 6 is up to 5 RTs again. Cheesecake also will be on 5 once they complete building stuff, the one up here in Topo, which needs the power up. I'm not quite sure why Boom is building the RT when the power is still down. That's a little bit silly. Come on, guys. It looks like Colt and Zloka are just holding off the encroaching aliens from east. Meanwhile, they're losing the left side of the map again, with table for 6, as I said, on 5 again. You can see that they spiked right back up here, right after the bunch of the RTs went down. Colt gets taken down because he pushes a little bit too far forward. They do have cap packs, so if they're able to get a good position here, and maybe get the Onos away from the lurk so that they don't have Umbra interfering, they may be able to take down the Onos, because those cap packs are pretty handy things. Alright, here comes KMG pushing into the middle there. There is Umbra in that engagement, so it'll be a little bit hard for... Oh, nope! He gets down pretty low, but is able to escape through the dome and is going to go back to the hive. They do have enough to drop another hive. They'll probably go for sub at this point, because there hasn't been that much pressure on the left side of the map. Speaking of pressure on the map, we have Trademark again biting res over there in Topo. So that's going to go down, because there is... Oh, nope, never mind. We just heard a... Oh, that was the lurk getting shot. That was it. Alright, power's back up in Nano.
Station under attack.
Just a little bit of a push there onto the power to pull all the Marines out of Nano. They were just barely able to get the power up there in Nano, but, well, too late now. They're going to have to run all the way back in. We have Wake, Boom, and Zloka just just scooting along. There's the hive. There's the hive drop over in sub. KMG going in there. A little bit of a bone wall to try and split the Marines, but it, only successfully held Boom there for like, 2 seconds. Once that hive is up, obviously it won't be a big deal if Flo ends up keeling over dead. What have we got up here again? We have the Onos in base, along with Tap. Colt came through. He's obviously trying a little bit, but it looks like the power is going to possibly go down. They actually don't have enough res for another chair, it looks like. So once they lose this, it's pretty much over. They're all stuck down there in Nano. Uh-oh. And so now their only gates are between there and C12. So this chair is toast. They did not have enough res. Oh, no, not enough time to drop that. Drop the chair elsewhere. So there we go. First round goes to table for 6. All right. All right, let's take a look here. I want to go back and take a quick look at chat, because I know there were people talking. All right, just took a quick look there. Thankfully, they haven't readied up or anything while it was out tap. Anyway, an interesting start. Cheesecake, I think, was flailing around a little bit. I know that Boom, who, in a sense, sort of, at least from what I have seen, seems to be the one that ends up rallying their team. And he's been on vacation, so I'm wondering if that is what's affecting their play. Because I know that this, previously when I talked to him, is pretty much the map they were most confident at. And so seeing them just kind of flail around a little bit too much on Vale is kind of iffy. I mean, sure, they had that nice push in the beginning, but it didn't quite work out. That's no big deal. Okay, yeah, they wasted a lot of Skulk's time. They kept them from capping Nano for quite a while. Definitely a good start there. Let's see, do we have NS2 stats? We could take a look at that. Last round stats. All right. Hey, they got rid of the heat map thing. Oh well. But you could see that Cheesecake definitely was getting a lot of nice kills throughout that. But the thing is that T6 just had a little bit too much res the entire game. And they had sys chains going everywhere that needed to be cleared, that they needed to prevent them from being able to easily cap like Topo. Aliens shouldn't have Topo. It was not like it was even really, PvE'd up like you would see in a pub, where, they'd end up some really obnoxious commander with, a crag and a shift and everything. But it was just, an RT. Just taking advantage of stuff. Anyway, it looks like T6 is ready to go, so we're ready to move into round 2 here. Alright, 10 seconds, and let's see how they do with Cheesecake as aliens and T6 as marines. Alright, looks like it is a cargo start. Again. I think it's again. Yes, again. Again, Arms Lab. So they're getting that going. Meanwhile, we've got no gorge for them. They're just like T6. They're going to spread on out, 3 going towards Topo. Actually, only 1 now going towards Sky. It's going to be Tap versus Boom. Boom gets taken out. Tap gets a little bit bitten, but not too bad. Meanwhile, Colt backed up towards System, and he's able to get just some more parasites, and that's about it. Meanwhile, over here on the other side, we have the 3 Marines versus the 3 Skulks, and it looks like Wake, Zoloko, and Kenny aren't going to pull back and just wait to see if they're going to push into Nano. Harvesters dropped. Unlike T6, they aren't going to wait and see what happens. They're just going to drop that. Meanwhile, Boom and Colt are just waiting over there, kind of toying with Tap over here in System. And he gets cleared out. Meanwhile, up here we got Trademark just around the corner. Boom tries to get a parasite, misses a little bit, gets the parasite eventually. Meanwhile, Terran, KMG, and Flo are just kind of being slow. They're just kind of inching forward, not quite sure whether or not they want to push in, but it looks like at this point they probably aren't going to push in altogether, at least until the guys over on the System side are all ready to go. Armor 1 has been completed. Boom moves in. They're able to take out Trademark, and now they're going to move in on Tap. And Boom is just barely able to take him down before getting killed himself. So good there. Terran's just holding over there in East, making sure to keep a lid on the aliens there, which is basically just keeping Connie and Wake just like trapped there, and Zoloko too. They're gonna looks like now at this point gonna move in on Terran. Connie moves probably a little bit too early, but they're just keeping the Marines tied up. Flo and KMG, on the other hand, have had the freedom to move down into Pipe and take out that RT. At the moment, T6 has just been relatively free to cap. They have 4 RTs at this point, and they just are keeping just barely enough pressure on Nano to keep the Skulks occupied. I mean, it's just Terran and Tap. I mean, it looks like Terran gets taken down, so now it's just Tap versus County. Tap is able to pistol him down. Colt's just right around the corner. He moves in there. He's going to maybe get a bite. Nope. Tap actually clears him out too, so Tap has the freedom to walk right into Nano. Boom gets picked off an RT there in Skylights. And so Tap is just like chilling out there. He's going to work on that crag over there. And here comes Wake. Moving in, he gets taken out by Tap, and then Zoloko finally is the one that gets to clear him. We still have KMG and Flo just kind of, walking through, clearing out the sys chain. They already kept Pipe, so Table for 6 is up to 5 RTs, so very good for them. Cheesecake's only on, just got their 4th RT up. Obviously, Overlook over here is going to be their next one. They are prepping for that. Oh, they're a little bit late on the Hive upgrades. They're finally getting the Crag evolution on the Hive. So they're definitely not going for relatively early upgrades. We finally have the Lurk up. We have Wake up as Lurk. And we'll be seeing, I'm assuming, a second Lurk fairly soon. But we have Flo and KMG in their Hive. We have Zoloko popping out of an egg there, and he'll probably, looks like, go over towards Flo and maybe take him. Nope. Shotguns are researching. We have Colt. Also trying to get a parasite there on KMG, missing a couple times. But it looks like they are going to be able to take down the base Harvester before anyone could do anything about it. Looks like County is moving in also. One down, KMG's the only one up. Oh, they're just not quite, maybe. Oh my gosh, that's really low. I thought that it was maybe not going to be able to be assisted, but it looks like they're barely going to keep that. Meanwhile, Tap is in Nano again. But with Wake up as Lurk and also Boom. Wow, Boom is lurking. What is this madness? I thought he was a fade. I guess that he's been doing that recently. I have no idea. That's actually kind of surprising, but whatever. So Boom and Wake over there in Nano just kind of hanging out. Kenny's going to work on C12. Obviously, Pipe is also still capped, so somebody will have to go over and clear that. Both the lurks kind of just playing defensively at this point. We have one dude over there with a Flow about to cap Overlook. Tap moving into to system a little bit while Boom is able to spike him down that nice long hallway. Sort of prevent the encroaching quite at this point. Wake is able to just barely duck into a vent there. He's down to about half health. But he is able to get his upgrade now, so he'll be able to get regen. Meanwhile, there are 4 moving towards Nano. So this may actually end up having Nano go down for a Cheesecake. Wake is up with regen, so he'll be able to survive and get the heck out of there. Tap actually was waiting for him, but isn't able to shoot fast enough to take him down. So there are 3... Looks like we're gonna have both lurks going into the base though to see if they can do some damage while the bulk of the Marine team are over there. So they're gonna go right on the arm slap, instantaneous beacon pretty much, just pulls all the Marines back. So they should be able to resist that no problem and potentially save both those RTs. They really need to get on res though and get that down so that way Table for 6 is not gonna be sitting there on 5 RTs. Obviously they finally cleared out Pipeline. Looks like C12 is also going to go down. So as long as they keep T6 up, on the northern part of the map, they'll be all good. I think we're still seeing some sys damage over there in Nano. Yep, there we go. Wake is pretty low there. Dodging around the corner, they're able to go out towards sub. There's nobody over there to pinch them, so and combine that with regen. Zoloko just needs to get like one more bite. Okay, he is able to take out that extractor before getting taken out by Flow. So KMG and Flow are gonna just scoot along south. Cheesecake doesn't have enough res yet to drop their other head, but they'll have to be thinking about that. I mean, the Fades are going to be out 2 res. So they need to be getting their biomass up. They are up to 2 biomass. They need to get that 3rd one up soon and get metabolized so that way their Fades can be, more effective. That poor little whip is going to end up killing over dead here. But here come the lurks. They're going to try and see if they can pick off KMG, it looks like. He has had his armor spiked away. They end up picking up KMG, able to clear that, and they will be able to save that Harvester. We have Tap over here with a shotgun. Obviously, that shotguns are up, as is Phase Tech, so if they can get a good position, they'll be able to get that gate up somewhere. But they have shotguns up. They have Weapon 2 just about to finish. And there is Terran versus both a Lurks and a Skulk. Getting a little bit chip damage on everyone, but, no problem. They're all good. And there's the weapons, too. And Tap is just waiting around the corner. He's going to get a... Oh, he missed the shot on Wake. Right over here in Pipe. But Boom takes a lot of damage instead. So let's just have to watch out for him over there. Metabolize has finally been started. Colt is up at Fade. So he just runs right in there and just swipes Tap to death. So it looks like we've got County over there on the node. Meanwhile, Trademark is going through the... Oh, do they hear him? I hope they hear... Yeah, he's running. They can hear him now. He gets cleared out. Oh, he almost... Colt goes down. He should not have gone out that way. I don't know whether Kenny just didn't say anything, that there was kind of a Marine, coming through there. So that was bad calling on Cheesecake's part. They really should have said, hey, dude, there's a Marine that just came out of C12. You should, not go that way. But instead, that's the direction Colt went. And it looks like Trademark is just going to get spiked to death. He got no meds whatsoever there, it looked like. KMG and Terran over there. Both LMGs, so it should be no problem for the lurks as long as they, land their bites. Wake goes down. Cheesecake, please. So 2 life forms down. Who is the other Fade? Okay, Zoloko is the other Fade. Charge has been started, so it's a little bit early for charge, because Canny is up to 40-something res. But it looks like they're going to go for a gate and potentially arc Nano just to be safe. Or at the very least get the gate up. There isn't too much money that's been put into Nano so far, so losing that isn't the worst in the world. But Table for 6 is almost on 5 RTs. They need to get the last one up, and they will be up to 5 RTs. And at this point, that is a very bad engagement there. Colt, almost gets chipped down to nothing as just a normal skulk, so no problem if he'd actually died there. But, it was bad to have that Fade go down. Boom is obviously still up as Lurk. He gets shot at a little bit by Tap. Zoloko almost goes down. He has to get the heck out of there. That weapons 2 seems to be really wrecking them quite a bit there. So they're gonna have to play a little bit careful, and they still don't have enough for that other hive, which they really need to get so they can get Umbra. Boom over here, taking out KMG over in system potentially. Nope, he backs off. He probably could have just taken that engagement. I'm not quite sure why he ran away. But it's okay, Zloka was there. Anyway, we got a bunch of aliens prowling around the center of the map. We have Tap over there with the lovely shotgun. And they are setting up an ob, so it does look like they... Yep, there's the Arc Factory is currently researching, so they're going to just Arc Nano. I don't know why they're bothering to spend that much res on it, because it's just a Crag and some Harvesters. It'd be one thing if they had, like, a bajillion things in there. But at this point, it's not much. All they're doing is spending a lot of res that they probably don't have to. I guess they're playing it safe, but... Oh, we just had Boom go down over here. Yep, they're in system due to Tap. Well, let's see, how much res does he have? He has 26 res. He can relurk, or Wake can relurk. Wake already did relurk, so there you go. There's sys chains going everywhere, but the res hasn't gone down. So the sys chains were all set up, but the problem is that they didn't have the res actually, like, going. And there's the arcs just setting up. They're actually setting up turrets too. They're putting so much money into that. I mean, sure, they have most of the tech that they probably need, but they're just gonna... It's just... Okay, there we go. We got the pipeline hive going down. Zloka got a little bit chipped there. Almost took down Tap. But it's like, hey guys, why are you spending so much money over there in East when it's not particularly hard defense from the aliens there? We have Trademark and KMG. Looks like maybe they're setting up... I don't know. Trademark's just waiting around the corner there. I'm sitting there debating whether or not they're trying to get a gate in Y, but it looks like he's just there to try and pick off some random aliens that are scooting along by. They actually set up to try and get a gate there in Nano, so I'm assuming, at least for now, are going to keep both those gates and may end up eventually recycling the one that's over there in East, which seems a little bit silly because they put so much money into just setting up over in East. It seems kind of weird, but I guess they don't want to take any chances. Cold has like no health, and neither does Terran. Alright, they're finally medpacking him, so he's gonna survive there. Looks like Boom just went down to Flow over here in the sort of like East and Topo connector thing. At this point, let's take a quick look at the res graph. Looks like for a long time, Cheesecake was in a good position, but slowly, they've just slowly lost it. That's where Nano went down, and now at this point, they haven't bitten any res. That's their whole problem here, is they haven't bitten down the res that's there. Sure, it seemed like the T6 has been doing a very good job at making sure that they can't. They've been keeping the aliens occupied, but I think the whole issue is that they're playing too defensively, they're only reacting, they aren't forcing the engagements. So now there's this silly little triangle here where they're kind of phased between two walls, so at this point that's gonna make it really hard for them to get back into Nano. Okay, they did actually recycle the one in East and they got the system gate up. Right after I say that, of course. But so that'll lock down the left half of the map. They will be able to, you know, sort of wiggle their way through the vents and be able to get out to go take down Overlook. Zloka goes through, gets one swipe on Tap, but has to retreat because he got a nice meat shot there. They're getting cap packs, they're getting armor too, so they're pretty much getting to the point where they're going to be able to go and just take out the hive. But hey, guess what? We have County up as Onos. Tap already found the hive, so he's in there and taking that down because that's only at 67% grown, so they'll need a new drifter on that. But it'll probably end up going up unless they end up really just hauling over there to try and take that down. Getting RTs up there in C12. Cheesecake is going to only be on 3 RTs at this point. Lots of scans going down from table for 6. They're up to 7 RTs. They are not hurting for res. They'll probably end up going weapons 3 next. And then County will have a whole world of problems as the Onos. Here comes Terran, here comes KMG, here comes Flow, here comes Trademark. Kenny is like kind of out of position at this point, but he's on infestation so they can always bone wall. They actually get distracted trying to kill the Skulk instead of, you know, everybody chasing the Onos, especially since cap packs are done. They probably could have hunted them down, especially with this nice, lovely long hallway there. But at this point, it looks like they're just going to get spiked and possibly lose a shotgun over there in the dome. But looking at their P-Res, looking at T6's P-Res, they have plenty, so they can, you know, throw a shotgun here and there and be totally okay. They're actually going to arc this giant mess of stuff. This is the more kind of thing that you'd expect for them to, you know, put the effort into arcing. The whole arcing Nano thing just seemed really just overkill for what was there. I don't know whether they just hadn't scouted it in a while or what, but either way, KMG may end up going down here to the giant mess of life forms. Maybe. Oh, just barely tapping that before anybody could get in. Kenny has to retreat because that armory block just like apparated out of nowhere. Boom is obviously up as Faye. That is I think, is much more normal life form, so that's a lot less weird to me than seeing him as a lurk. Tap is actually going to come around the corner here and run right into the whole pack of life forms. He actually just totally wrecks Wake, who doesn't quite have Umbra yet, so can't be doing that. Why are they getting Biomass? They should be getting Umbra. Umbra is not up. They have both Hives up, so I don't know why there's Biomass right now. Kenny may end up going down, though, potentially. They need to get the Bone Wall. Get the Bone Wall. Where's the Bone Wall? We need a Bone Wall there for the Onos, but it looks like he's actually going to be able to get out anyway. All they needed was a couple cap packs, and they probably could have actually killed him. I mean, he was down to about half health, I think. But we're not seeing the Bone Wall, we're not seeing the Umbra, and that just seems a little bit weird to me. They really should have had that there to just not take that chance. Because that life form is just so key. They just Tap is just able to just go kill two drifters. They're just like chilling out over by the hive there. Hive is up, obviously. It's not set to be any sort of hive yet. There's the weapons 3. A little bit later than I was expected. There's the Umbra. Finally, they really need to get that up. They really need to get a lurk up and be able to have that. That would have been much more useful when Wake was actually still a lurk. He's 3 ways away. Zolok was actually really low. They may need to have Fuglif jump out of the hive to say nope. He's been healed enough from the hive and regen combo that he's actually just able to get the heck out. But here comes Connie all alone going after Tap. And that harvester's gonna pose a bit of an issue over there. He's gonna be able. Is he gonna be able to get him? Oh, that harvester! He's just playing tag around the harvester, and they finally takes him down. But the harvester does go down as well. Here comes one arc that's just like chilling, rolling its way down. It's not a very exciting arc, but it just got wrecked. Anyway, here's Terran and Flo have moved into the main hive. Fuglif has actually jumped out of the hive there for a moment and changed her mind. Decides to start dropping some eggs, but nobody's dead at the moment. So that's just a waste of res at this point, at least until somebody actually dies. She jumps out of the hive to go and try and kill people. It's taken out immediately, but it looks like the aliens aren't going to be able to clean this up. They are going for weapons 3, so if they're able to clear this out before weapons 3 and just lose all those shotguns, it'll put a nice dent in the P-res there for trademark Terran and Flo, but they all have enough for another shotgun. They're getting nano shield and mines. They're just like teching up. They're like, sup, we have almost 8 RTs. Where's that 8 RT? Yeah, they have C12 capped. Just slowly, this is... Cheesecake just isn't biting the res, I think. But what happened to res biting, guys? Cheesecake, come on. Go bite your res. They've just sort of given up on the whole res biting thing. They're just trying to kill stuff, which obviously isn't going to win it, because this game is, heavily economy based. If you're just letting the Marines become the NS2 equivalent of millionaires, well, you aren't going to do very well as aliens. Because not only do you not have that res, but they are going to be like crazy OP Marines. Alright, and it looks like the local goes down. One fade down, we're going to have everybody converge maybe? And they're just kind of flailing around a little bit. I think maybe a little bit of the case of the not calling targets shenanigans maybe. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why it is that they're having so much issue here. I don't know whether it's just lack of practice, because they did have about a week break, but it looks like they're going to go and try and get a gate up there in Y. Or no, just kidding. It's some turrets. They're going to put up some turrets there in Y and then probably put up a gate or something. At least that would be my assumption, considering that is a nice, highly aggressive position. Yeah, there's the gate. They're going to move up the one from system. If they really want to be annoying, they put up the other gate in either the dome or the neck. And then they'll have, basically be on their doorstep. But we have down here in the hive, we have 4 Marines and an Onos, and Kenny is going to go down before he's able to jump in the hive. So the Onos is down. They have 1 fade left. We have a couple people with high enough res to do stuff, but at this point that hive is going to get melted, and it's pretty much GG at this point. It's been GG for a little while. We take a look here at the team kills, team resources. You can see that it's just sort of flatlined there for 1 skulk. They beacon back for 1 skulk. Oh, okay, I guess they were trying to save their, just kidding. They were trying to save their shotguns and stuff, which they did manage to do. Boom actually gets really chipped there and has to flee the scene of the crime. And they weren't able to actually use their Umbra. They finally got it researched, but they weren't able to use it because they didn't have a lurk up at the time. Here we go, losing the shells. Shells are gone. And they're just down in the pipeline hive. At this point, unless they're able to perform a miracle, okay, yeah, now now they aren't even able to just go and kill the power and call it done. They've already dropped the other chair, so it's gonna be basically impossible at this point for them to come through and pull this back, unless T6 just totally throws it. And it would have to be a pretty major throw to be able to lose it at this point. I mean, oops. That was annoying. I mean, they have all this stuff. They're getting, is that a second ops or is that a new one? That has to be a second ops. Where's the other one? Am I just blind? I'm probably just blind. Whatever. Yeah, Boom over here about to potentially get taken down by... Oh no, he's just... Why is he not... Go back to the hive, Boom! Get out of there. That's 2 shotgunners. They're gonna get a dome gate. They're gonna push up the one from Nano, it looks like, probably. Or no way, they can move up the one from Y. And just slowly creep that gate forward. I mean, it doesn't hold it quite as well as the Y does, but because it's obviously they have a vent system here that they could technically travel through. But like if they managed to get another Onos, obviously that couldn't be there. Anyway, here comes T6. This is actually one of the moves that that will definitely end this game. Is it just having them all go in there? I don't know why we aren't seeing. Oh, Boom goes down. And I believe that is it for Cheesecake. Just waiting here for them to go through and take out the last key percentage of that hive. And there we go. Table for 6 takes the map that, at least previously, I know was Cheesecake's favorite map. So that's not good for them. Anyway, let's see here. Do we have any people in chat that are new to NS2? I know that it's been on sale, but hey, competitive players, be nice to the greenies, help them out. Who knows, maybe you'll play on a team with them someday. Or maybe not, who knows, just be nice to the poor greenies. Looks like we're going to be going to Summit. Yeah, this is a very, for those of you guys who may or may not be relatively new to NS2, res budding is obviously very important. Obviously, there's the resource towers, the harvesters and extractors, etc., that are very important to be able to actually get your upgrades. And as an alien, well, actually, as anything, aliens or marines, one of your key important things to actually go and do is to take down the enemy's resources. Because if you're, as I said, if you're like ignoring them like Cheesecake was for the latter half of that game, well, the latter 2/3 of that game, they didn't put any pressure on the res, really. I mean, to a certain point they couldn't, but if they'd had the much more res pressure earlier on, they wouldn't have gotten to that point. At that point in the game, even if they went and like annihilated all the res that was there, they'd have to they'd have to have T6 totally screw up. They'd have to have T6 accidentally dump everything into cat packs or something, and then, die to a stupid base rush kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of important for them to go and take down those RTs so that they don't end up with the weapons 3 Marines and only 2 RTs on their side. Let's see, I'm looking through the list there of viewers. But yeah, we're going to be moving to Summit for the second map. Obviously, whoever gets to 4 wins first, which at this point, obviously T6 is halfway there. Whoever gets to 4 first, it gets to fight 2 hours later the French team. When? Let's see. It would, I don't know when. Zephram can answer it. Zephram, when are the finals going to be due? Would it be next weekend? I mean, I kind of would assume so, but who knows? Oh yeah, there was that one right in East. I forgot about that one. That giant pile of res that they all piled into East. Alright, but yeah. I think that T6 didn't want to take any chances there in trying to take down Nano. It seemed a little bit overkill though, because well, I mean, there was a Crag and two Harvesters. And it wasn't like it was heavily assisted. It wasn't like they had three whips and a shift in there too, and a gorge tunnel and, a bazillion hydras. It was just, a pretty lame setup. They could have just taken a couple shotgunners and walked on in there and killed it all. Alright, what have we got? Just seeing what you guys are saying. Yeah, obviously, NS2 is on sale right now, as I already mentioned. So, those of you guys who play competitive, well, you're going to see a lot of green people wandering around. And so, I hope you guys are taking advantage of the fact that there are servers that aren't necessarily rookie friendly. I know that HBZ, I believe, has a new noob thing, and I think there are KKG servers for the North American players that have like time limit requirements. So you need 75 hours plus on Hive or whatever to be able to go on those. I think, unless I'm like totally hallucinating, and those servers all evaporated in the previous time. But be nice to the noobs. Don't go there to just wreck their faces, because that isn't fun for anyone, or at least it shouldn't be fun for people with skill. So at this point, obviously, oh, hey, the score didn't save. There we go. Table for 6 is halfway to going forward into the finals. Let's see here. What else was there to say? For those of you who haven't seen already, or haven't been here in my cast when I sit there and go and talk about all the things that you could theoretically do, there are threads on the ENSL website, which of course is ensl.org, where there's stuff for talking about summer plans, whether it be draft tournament or like some sort of night cup. I guess I think that's a thing for the Euros. I don't know. I'd have to go reread the thread again, but obviously I don't want to do that right this instant. There's that. There's also talk about version 3 of the comp mod, which obviously this is. For anyone not as familiar with the NS2 competitive scene, there is a specific balance mod for it, which changes around some res values, adjusts a few other things, adjusts a few timings. Like you could see at the moment that all the aliens were starting with 15 res instead of 20, which just makes it so that the life forms come out, or the second round of life forms comes out sooner. It actually sets, timing-wise, is the same thing. But, you could go to those forums, check that all out. Leave your comments, because that's one of the ways that this game is going to, at least the competitive scene is going to grow and continue on, is if people give their opinions. It's very important that people give their opinions, because it'll hopefully prevent people from complaining later on when they're like, oh, this is stupid. Why didn't you do XYZ? Why did you do ABC? That's dumb. Well, guess what? You should go right now and tell them whatever the thing is that you think is awesome, whether it be something for the summer or some other addition to comp mod to make the less used technologies more viable. Just go do that. It's pretty awesome. It's something that everybody should at least take a look at and make sure that there isn't anything too ridiculous. Because if there are people who have suggested making marine sprints slightly slower. There's been talk about how to fix exos and flamethrowers and stuff like that, stuff that doesn't get used much, how to get it to work and be able to be a viable strat again. All right, what else do we have in here? Yeah, Zephram say he wants the season to be wrapped up next Sunday, but knowing teams, they'll never schedule anything. So hopefully we'll get some more games between now and next Sunday and possibly wrap up the season. We'll be saying what's going to go on for after that. Also, as a note, if you are a Twitter user, the NSL Twitter is now actually alive and functioning, kind of. I'm actually in charge of updating that, so there will be match announcements on there. So follow that if you happen to use Twitter on a regular basis. Obviously, there's also the NSL Steam group, which also has match announcements. So there's always that, and of course, if you log into the actual ENSL website, the matches on the side will actually be listed in whatever time zone you have it set to be, so you don't have to do time zone math, which is always a good thing. So hopefully we'll get some. Hopefully the finals will be set up there, and there'll be obviously more information on those whenever they come out. They'll also be best of 7, like this currently is. So it'll be another couple of longish games if they end up not going 4-0. Alright, taking a look here at chat again. Alright, so Cheesecake has readied up. This is obviously a map that is a lot more forgiving than Veil. Veil, if you screw up in the first couple engagements, you don't quite play that early game right. It just ends up snowballing out of control, and you end up getting rolled. Meanwhile, on Summit, it's obviously much, it's a nice smallish map, nice and balanced, nice little pinwheel shape that with lots of little vents that allow skulks to go skittering along and potentially end up in your base if you're a Marine at very inconvenient times. Obviously, since we are just waiting on T6, it looks like no roster changes. Tap changed his name. So now he is Tip Tap Clip Clap, I'm assuming. And so I'm gonna say his name. I'm gonna almost say his name wrong repeatedly again. All right. But yeah, if there are any new players in the audience who maybe just picked up the game over the summer sale, or perhaps end up stumbling across this later after purchasing it while it is on flash sale, this is the competitive scene. This is a Div 2 team, so they're sort of in the middle as far as skill-wise as the competitive scene goes. There's Premier and then Divs 1 through 4. So Div 2 is nicely in the middle there. So not the greatest players in the world, but they're still pretty good. I'm taking another look at chat here. Blind will return in its final form. Alright, so we have 13 minutes for tables for 6 to ready up, obviously, before it'd be a fort fit. But I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. It's probably just, people going off, going to the bathroom, figuring out their strats, and all that jazz. Obviously on this map, as it is, a lot of people don't like ending up spawning in Atrium. It just feels like it's really far from everything, and like it doesn't feel like sometimes there aren't. I mean, yes, there's the one vent here, going through reactor, but it doesn't feel like there's any good vents going there. It just feels like it's really far from everything, at least in my opinion. And a lot of people don't like it also because it's a big empty room, so you could stand over like little right over here and have, if the hive was here, you'd have a very good shot just shooting at the tech point over here as as a Marine. It's a nice, easy way to just snipe down the hive, and there's not much over there for the skulks to bounce off of to be able to clear it. And I know that's as I said, one of the ones that people just don't like that much. I know that, some teams probably or either do like it or are okay with it, but I know a lot of people don't like Atrium spawn, like as either one, just because it feels far away, I think. Bragging rights. Anyway, there we go. We got T6 readying up, so here we go into round 3 of Cheesecake versus Table for 6. Div 2 semifinals. Alright, let's see what's ended up here. Oh, they got it. Looks like T6 got Atrium spawn. Hope they practice this. Because if they don't like it, well, that's no good. And we've got 3 going off to the left, 2 for the right for them. Meanwhile, down here we have Colt building a thing. An arms lab right over there, hiding in the pillar. So it looks like T6 is pretty much set up at this point with 1 in cross, 1 in data, and the other 3 over there in comp lab. Boom and Wake probably heard them bouncing over a little bit and are going to, at least Boom is going to pull back. Wake is sort of waiting around the corner. Soloko's over there, hasn't been parasited, but he's going to go back and wait on get on the power there. Looks like Boom and Wake moved over into cross, where they're going to get some chip damage there on tap. He actually backed off, and it looks like he's going to go join KMG. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, he's going to join KMG, and they're probably going to take out Kenny, who just built ventilation. Terran actually came through the vent, so there's going to be 4 skulks over there. They're all just going to go into base now. There is Armor 1 researching, so they better clear out those skulks before that Arms Lab becomes a native. Vogelif gets out of the chair, possibly a bad choice. She ends up getting taken out. Counting respawns, ends up getting taken out. They're actually going to work on the IP.
Under attack.
The Arms Lab is going to finish researching while this happens, obviously, but they really need to pick tap off the RT. They did clear that at the last moment. They need to get an armory down now, because 1 IP, they do only have 12 res. However, they do have 4 RTs up, so it's not like end of the world yet, but it's questionable. Okay, there's the armory, so they'll be able to get a welder and get that welded, so they don't have to worry as much. Oh, here comes the giant train of skulks out through reactor core. They're coming towards Boom, who's backing up into Data. He picks off 1, but he's going to go down to the 2 remaining skulls, KMG and Terran. Meanwhile, the Tap moved down back to vent towards Kenny again and is joined by KMG. And Terran is going to go around, it looks like, to flank. And Kenny's just kind of stuck there. This is one of those cases where everybody's wasting each other's time. But there are 3 Skulks over there and only 2 Marines now. So all things considered, it's better time wasting for Cheesecake than it was for T6. They're able to take down KMG, and Tap is just kind of stuck over there around the corner. We have Trademark there up in the rafters in data. But nobody's going directly under him. Oh, he got picked off by Boom. Boom checking all his corners, doing a good job on that. It looks like Tap is going to go over there and try and take down Vent. Meanwhile, we have Flo kind of scooting along towards Marine Base. Colt is still in there building the obs. It looks like that. Oh my god, Colt, what are you doing? Zloka respawns and chases Flo out of the little hallway there. And he goes and hides in the vent. And he's pretty chipped too. They really need to finish that obs. I hope that they've noticed that. Anyway, we got 2 up here in reactor. We Boom, looks like they just took out 2 Skulks. Almost the entire table for 6 team was dead there at the moment. There's just the one down here, which would be Flo, who kept hiding in the vent and all that jazz. Anyway, it looks like the obs is going to go up here in a moment. There we go. Instantaneous phase tech research. They have armor 1, weapons 1, so it looks like they're probably going to go for a nice gate there and get a good position on the map. But we have Tap up his lurk. And we'll be seeing Flo up his lurk once he goes back to the hive to be safe and turn into an egg. Alright. Not many people out on the field at the moment. They gotta respawn, get out there. We have Canny just kind of holding the hallway over here in data. Trademark's over there getting a parasite on Canny. Just kind of dancing around the pillar. But Canny's not wasting too many bullets at this point. He's gonna reload so that way he doesn't have to worry about shotguns researching. Meanwhile, we have both lurks up over here. Tap got a little bit of chip damage going back to heal, it looks like. Meanwhile, over there, it looks like they finally have ended their standoff around the pillar, and Trademark is backing off into glass. Colt has joined Canny over there in data, and they'll be able to cap that and go up to get a 5th or 6th RT, depending on how quickly they spend it. But now we have currently a bunch of Skulks going towards base. There is the obs built, so they don't have to worry about that. But the thing is that, okay, instantaneous beacon, that's going to pull everyone back, and they're going to be able to clear that no problem, but the obs does go down. So that's, you know, chunk of res down, but not the end of the world there. They have plenty of people still alive. They almost take down Flo, but he is able to get around the corner there and not worry, especially since the beacon pulled everybody back and they didn't have a gate up at that time. If they'd had a gate up and cross, they would have been able to send somebody like running as fast as they could over towards glass hallway and possibly take out the lurk. At this point, we have Canny and Boom over here. They know that Tap is there, I'm pretty sure. Especially with him flapping. Canny moves a little bit out of line of sight, but Tap is back up in the ceiling. There's some nice little arches there. Take a quick look. You can see he was up here, just kind of flying around. He's going after them right now into glass. They've moved into reactor and are going to work on that. And he's stuck reloading. Looks like Boom got caught reloading there, and so they got cleared out of reactor. Meanwhile, Flo's over there. He took out the Marine that was in there and is going to work on that RT. He's down about half health, but there's nobody nearby to be able to really take him out. Wakes is kind of heading that way, but he got parasited by, looks like by Trademark, who just randomly eggs over there in the hallway. He could actually be sniped if, I think he just got egg killed. Or right after egging, he got killed by Colt. As I was about to say, that'd be really easy to snipe him off. Well, guess what? Colt came from the other direction. There's Terran. He just takes out, Wake. Colt is over there with a shotgun all by himself, which is not very good, but he should be able to get some good damage onto KMG if he follows along. Tap actually wasn't doing very much chip damage there, which as a lurk, he should be able to get a lot of good damage using the spikes. So it looks like there's the gate being dropped for cross. So we have Trademark under the floor. He has been scanned. They know he's there, and they're just going to ignore him and let him stay down there, I think. Boom's going to go... No. Okay, he's not going to go after him. Trademark out of the hole in the ground there, that little vent that follows along this little section of ground. Here come the Skulks. They're getting wasted. Canny and Boom both still alive with shotguns, getting some nice pistol shots onto Tap. And he's just going to keep spiking and being annoying. That shotgun is still there, and I'm hoping that they're going to be able to, that they're cycling that so that way they're able to, yep, Zloka's able to get that back. Cheesecake's still on 4 RTs. They were up to 5 for a little bit, but at this point, they need to go and take down some of that alien res. They need to go and cap data core and prevent that from being the next hive location. Looks like Kenny gets to be the guy on gates. Meanwhile, over here we have Colt over there by himself in vent, clearing out the sys chain. At least this time they seem to be doing that. Meanwhile, Colt is just kind of hanging out. He needs to get a buddy, and they need to go towards Data. Wake is again solo over here in flight. Trademark's in the vent, getting an upgrade. It looks like. Obviously, Wake has heard him when he popped out of that egg. They're up to 34 res, so they're almost on fades. We got Colt and Boom finally over here in Data. They're gonna take that down. Meanwhile, KMG is able to sneak on through while they're shotgunning that down. Weapons or armor 2 is going up. They already they have weapons 1 at the moment. So I don't know whether they're just prepping for the fades to come out or what. But either way, they decided they're gonna go armor before weapons. And there's currently obviously 2 skulks right outside of base, and they're probably going to go down. And a little bit of chip damage there on tap, and I know that there's 3 skulks coming back there. Whoever's in cross is going to port back. That'd be County. He's going to go, but he's going to get taken down. They're all going to converge on the gate, and along with here comes KMG. There's obviously Wake right there, so he's going to go through and maybe take off some of the skulks. The gate does go down, but Tap is able to get out through the vent. Oops. I somehow hit spacebar or something to accidentally switch. Anyway, with all the Marines pulled back, here's the problem. With that gate in base down, they're getting that powered up. It'll be a moment, but they're both lurks on the gate. Here comes Boom. He's able to get a nice shot there on Flow, but they got out of there, and so they do save the gate. So their map position has not been too badly compromised. They're just gonna have to go and recap. There's Colt recapping on one side, and they'll need somebody to go over to Comp Lab and take out the and cap over there. We have a 3 push now going towards Reactor. They actually put down a bone wall early, but it looks like there's both the fades. Is that a gate? That's a gate over there. They almost got up. Here come the fades, but here come all the Marines. So basically a bit of a standoff there. They end up backing off, and that gate ended up getting completely wrecked by, whatever was over there. It looked like it was Tap. Here we go. We have the group moving. It looks like possibly instead of getting the gate over in Reactor, they're going to go and try and get one over in Crevice. But we have, a lurk and 2 fades over here versus poor Canny, who's all alone. And here comes all the scary life forms, and they just take him out, and they're going to lose that gate in Cross. So it has been recycled, but that's going to go down before it's able to actually be recycled. They actually get a nice bone wall there to split Zoico from the rest of the group. They almost take down Flow. But there haven't been any life form kills yet. It's all still the same set. Terran is still, 12 res or 13 res away from being able to be an Onos. But, it's not a problem at this point. What are we seeing there? Did somebody get Parasite the Arms Lab? Well, look at this. Here we go again. Table for 6 is up on their naturals. Cheesecake just isn't recapping. They're letting the pressure from T6 go through and just, okay, they did take down obviously the one there in Crevice because they're like right there, but they aren't recapping. They're letting the T6's res just like escape and run away, and they're turning them into like, a higher life form factory. Colt finally responds, but he's too late because guess what? There's a lurk, a fade, and a skulk over there. And though he's maybe able to get a couple good shots there, and yeah, he was able to get a nice shot there on Trademark, there's still this whole problem called, they're in both the naturals. So they're trying to get that up, and is that a whip? That's a whip over there. There's the Harvester, which is partially grown. And just Colt is like all there by himself, and he can't really do much of anything, because that lurk is just going to spike him to death. So it's kind of like flailing around at that point. They cut the sys chain in one point, but they have their gate. They have their position. They're reclaiming Cross. But they really need to get their res back. They need to get their res back so they can get their upgrades. So they can, have the weapons 3 and be able to go and take down Trademark and KMG. To be able to clear out Tap and, clear all the res and all that jazz. I mean, look at this. There's still... Colt is just kind of flailing around at this point, and they're going to put the whip on the power to take down the power there and vent. Why is nobody recapping? This has been pretty bad for them. Look at this. This alien res goes unchallenged. They're up to 6 res, 6 RTs for table for 6. They're dropping data core. There just hasn't been the pressure that they needed to have to be able to take this game. And at this point, that is definitely going to be Cheesecake's failing this entire round, is the fact that they are putting 0 pressure on res. They're trying to do their normal thing, where they go to try and end the game when fades are up, but Onos is not. But here's the thing. They have a Crag in there. They have 3 Drifters. Just like chilling in here. But there's just too many life forms and not enough upgrades. They're just gonna lose all their shotguns right here. Maybe take down Tap. Maybe. Nope. And that is most of the Marines down at this point. Okay, now it's all the Marines. It's just, you know, here we go. Wake is respawning. He ends up going through the gate and dying. And look at this map. It's all green. Yeah, there's charge being completed. Obviously, let's see, who is it? It would be Terran is their Onos, and he just went Onos. So there's his egg. This is gonna end really badly for Cheesecake here momentarily, especially with both the Fades just like chilling over there. Here comes Boom. There come the Fades. They got split by the bone wall. Nice way to make it so that you can't shoot the life form off of your buddy Marine. And Zoloko's just like sitting there. He lets him go by. Here comes Zoloko. They may end up taking down KMG. Not quite. So Zoloko ends up going down there. Wake gets a shotgun, but isn't able to go over there again. But yeah, this isn't looking so good for Cheesecake at all. Look at the res. Look at how it's completely changed. T6 hasn't even needed to bother biting res, because guess what? They're on 1 RT. Oh, Tap is going to go down now. Yep, finally Tap goes down. Let's see how much res does Tap have. Tap has 40 res. He could be a Fade and get an upgrade. That Hive over here in data, it's up to 69% grown. No challenges. There's Boom finally moving into Vent and realizing that, hey, there's a lurk in there. So I would assume that Tap probably will go Fade because they already have Flow up his lurk. Nope, Cheesecake is just going to GG at this point. Which is probably a wise decision considering that map. That map and all of its green. So not a good showing from Cheesecake. I think that week off has really hurt their play. Alright. Alright. So now the final round here will be with, or at least potentially the final round here. If Cheesecake doesn't bite res, this will be the final round. Unless they get a base rush. If they are able to spot a nice base rush, it won't be the final round. But if they do not bite res and they do not get a base rush, this will be the final round for them. Table for 6 obviously will be Marines. Cheesecake will be aliens. And we'll have to see how they end up playing this. Let's see here. Alright. So we got Cheesecake all in there. I don't know why they all left and came back real quick. That was kind of silly, but there you go. Obviously, at the moment, we have Polar Gear, and I believe that's Baron. Let me double check. And this will be... I don't know who that is then. Because either way, whoever B is, I believe is another ref, considering he has the little logo. But yeah. So those are our refs for today, and we are coming up to, as I said, potentially the final round here if they don't end up playing this right. Yeah, as people are catching up 3 minutes ago here. Let's see, yeah, both Marine Naturals capped. Yeah, at that point you know that things have gone terribly wrong. I mean, they didn't even bother capping flight if I recall correctly. Let's take a look. Oops. Oops if I hit the right button here. And it's 2 stats. So it's like not even like it's not even like Cheesecake can't shoot or something. They're getting a good percentage of kills, but at a certain point, they just start losing it because they don't have the tech. You can see where is that? Where does it start evening out? About here? What is that? 6 minutes in. Let's check out 6 minutes over here. Yeah, that's where their RT started going down and they let T6 start getting all the res. That I believe, or no, this is where they got the gate and crevice, I think. But, yeah. Let's take a look up here. 6 minutes. Right over here. I mean, they just kind of let it run away. They let T6 just have fun. Just, you know, killing the res and rampaging around and getting all that P-res for all those life forms. Alright, here we go. Round 4. Maybe or maybe not the last round of the semifinal. We'll see how it goes in 3 seconds. Alright, horizontal spawns. So we got Cheesecake over here as aliens in flight, and over here in data core we got T6. They're gonna go for an armory, and they're gonna put down mines, and so they're taking no chances that there's going to be a base rush. We got 3 here going into cross. That's Wake, County, Xlogo. Actually, we got all the skulks over here, and they're just gonna get completely annihilated because they just like move in a straight line. But they actually did clean up the Marines, so they lost 2 of the 5 skulks. Everybody else is you know, pretty much chipped. They're gonna go over there. Where are the Marines? Well, we have Tap just like running forward. He's gonna pick off the Drifter. Drifter's gonna run away as fast as its little like floaty legs can take it, or fuck, I guess float away, whatever. Either way, it's getting the heck out of there, and it's gonna run over towards Cross and see if they can cap that. We have Wake under the floor there, while I think he's under the floor. Let's take a look. Yep, he's under the floor there. But he just got sniped by Trademark. Just right under there. Anyway. Terran's over there. Here comes the other skulks. Loco's down to half health at the beginning of this engagement, but here comes Colt as well. They're all at about half health, so but they should be okay to go in and take down Terran theoretically. So Boom and Colt are now both down to a quarter of their health. Not that great as far as that goes, but they have finally secured over in Crevice. Still no upgrade from Cheesecake, so that's a little bit slow on that aspect. I don't know. I'd like to see them pick their hive upgrade sooner so that way they don't have to worry about you know, waiting for that upgrade to finish. I mean, it doesn't take all that long, but it's still, you know, you could use the Drifter abilities if you've got it. Especially if they went for Crag Hive, which is one of the in things. Candy's kind of trapped in there. There's a nice mine on that side, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of them... well, nobody has mines at the moment, so you won't get completely trapped in there. It looks like he's going to go back and bite the back res while Wake is wasting KMG and Trademark's time over here in Atrium. Down here in Comp Lab, we have Tap versus Colt and Zoloco. Zoloco's just kind of bouncing around, decides... I don't know what he's deciding. He's just bouncing around. Colt poking his head out of the vent and getting really chipped from that. Here comes Boom, and here they all go. The engagement was called. They move in. Boom goes down. Zoloco's able to clear up Tap. He goes into the other room where Terran already is. He's down to half health, but he's going to get taken out, so Terran is free to go into Comp Lab whenever he wishes. That RT there in Reactor almost went down. Kenny's down to under half health, but I don't know. Flow's just kind of waiting for him. They're wasting each other's time over there. Meanwhile, KMG and Trademark are sort of moving forward here into Crevice. Wake is walking, so he can be quiet, so he can go back and possibly come up behind them. There is a whip over there, but it's in a bad position to be able to actually hit the Marines. They have to get really close because it is just a vanilla whip. They have the Crag over there too. Wake moves in, is able to take down KMG, no problem. Damage. We actually have 3 skulks there on the power. Barcode is out of the chair. Colt goes over to engage with him. We had KMG respawn. One more bite. Power is down in Marine base. KMG is out, and all they need to do now is hunt the Marines. All the 3, we have Tap, we have Flow, we have Terran. All the remaining ones alive, Flow, Tap, Terran, and Trademark are all the ones still alive. They're gonna start on that power. Here comes Boom, going through the ceiling, little arches. Flow's, but it looks like at this point they are going to be able to get the power back up. There's the power again, so they can respawn and get their guys back. A little bit too late to be able to get in there. They did drop a hive there in sub, so I don't know whether they're just counting on the fact that they're going to be able to clear out this. But at this point, with 2 IPs and a bunch of mines in that area, it's going to be very easy for them to get cleaned up, and they did clean that up. So lurks are up. We have Wake up as a lurk and Boom up as lurk. And they're going to clean out Vent, it looks like, and then possibly head over there and see what's up. So fairly aggressive Hive there. I mean, they didn't go for... did they have the upgrades up? No upgrades up. They went for an early Hive instead and the Drifter ability, it looks like. So not exactly a normal strat that you'd end up seeing. But if it ends up working for them, who cares? They're already getting shotguns. They're skipping upgrades at this point. They have plenty of res for it, so if they wanted to, they could just go for the upgrades and you know, get the weapons one, get the armor one so they don't die as fast. Got one over here in Crossroads that's trademarked working on that RT. There's the armor one. The Hive obviously has been discovered. It is up to 32% grown. So they'll have to go in there and try and clear that very quickly. Obs has been completed, so they're taking no chances. They're going to be able to beacon whatever the heck they want. And so, at this point, Cheesecake... They have been biting res this time, though. So they've lost 2 RTs. Actually, I think one might have been recycled. Because I see 3 little... No, 3 lost. They're going to lose this Hive. So there goes 40 T-res that could have been spent on RTs. Meanwhile, we've got Wake over here in the base, blowing up some mines. They're going to beacon back. Kenny's actually on the power again. I don't know here. It's kind of it's kind of a weird game at this point. Like, Cheesecake is just kind of flailing around, trying different stuff. Because this is their last chance to be able to take out T6 for the... if they expect to get into... If Cheesecake expects to get into the finals. They did lose the power there in Cross. They lost the RT up there in Reactor. So I'll have to go recap that. And at this point, Tap is sort of following Boom, who is at half health, so you better watch out. He's going to go back to the Hive to heal. Kenny's going to get picked off by a shotgunner there, which would be Flo. They're still waiting on weapons 1, so it'll be a little bit before they start doing a bit more damage with those shotguns. Looking over at their base, they still have 1 mine up. But at this point, you know, it's relatively free of mines. Obviously, with the lurks up, putting up mines isn't exactly the, you know, the most P-res conscious thing to do because the lurks can obviously just like spike the mines to death. We have a Colt over here and Zloko as well coming in versus Terran potentially. He goes over there. Colt runs over there, but Zloko's a little bit too far away. He switches on to pistol. Bite there. Another bite. Lots of missed pistol shots, but he is able to barely take him out. Boom getting some nice spikes there on KMG. Oops. Ah! Nice spikes on KMG, and they are able to clear him up. Trademark is waiting around the corner to see if the lurk could come around, but it looks like at this point, Boom is not going to, so Trademark is going to go through the vent and see what happens. We had Flo to vet. They're just hiding out in vents and being kind of silly in that aspect, but if it works for them, who cares? There's Flo. He's got Wake on the wrong side of things, but Wake should be able to go under the floor there and get out of the way. Boom is able to get some nice spikes on him. He obviously... I doubt he would go in for a bite at this point. Flo has to retreat because he's going to get spiked to death by the 2 lurks. Here comes Tap over there. He's going to take out the Drifter, which is building that RT. It's almost built, too. It's up to 75% grown, so that's bad for Cheesecake. They are sitting at only 2 RTs. With that one would be their 3rd. The assists have been cleared there, and here comes Boom and Wake. But, you know, Trademark has a shotgun. Obviously, Tap has an LMG. So it's a bad combination for trying if you're alert. Because if you're spiking from long distance... Oh, now Tap has the shotgun. They just need to spike him just a few times. Okay, at this point he's been meted back up though, so there you go. And now we have people on the power again. Trademark had respawned. He's able to take out County. Here comes, and also Colt. So he's gonna possibly buy a shotgun and just head on back through the gate there. Terran is creeping on forward towards the main hive. Here come the lurks. Yeah, I mean, T6 is up to 6 RTs. They're not hurting for res at all. They're getting weapons too. They already have their shotguns. I mean, they're just waiting and seeing what happens. I mean, at this point with 6 RTs now up, they could just put the gate down in one of the alien naturals and just take the shotguns into the hive, get some cat packs, and just walk on in there and call it done. I mean, Cheesecake is sitting there at 2 RTs. Well, of course, if they keep walking in one by one into the alien hive when all the aliens are in there, they're gonna end up losing their shotguns. And at this point, they don't have enough for anyone to buy another round of shotguns other than Tap. However, they are doing a lot of damage just with those LMGs. Weapons 2 is done, Armor 2 is just started, so those LMGs will hurt even more. Colt is wasting Tap's shotgun shells while Zoloka works on that res. Here comes Connie as well. They're gonna duck through the vent, potentially. Suddenly sneaking. Colt's gonna get an upgrade over there. Meanwhile, we've got Boom going in there, almost running into the shotgunner, which would be trademark. Yeah, I think that early hype did not work out well at all for Cheesecake. Though it was a good safety. Oh, and then we have another shotgun there that's going to possibly be lost. Tap might be able to recover it in time. Unless Boom is able to delay him long enough. Wake just went down, where's trademark? Right here in the little hallway there. So not only that, but their life forms are split up again. Looks like Tap just got taken down, so that shotgun is gone, and possibly the one that Tap had as well. So they're really low on P-res, so that's definitely good. But there goes Boom, dying over here, because that's where Trademark and Flo moved to cut him off. So though they took down a shotgunner, and possibly tossed 2 shotguns away, they took down a lurk. And sitting at, 2 RTs, losing that other lurk is a big deal. They're still 2 res away from being able to get their fades up, so that's, another minute. So they have a minute until they're able to get their fades out, and they almost certainly aren't going to make it to Onos at this point, even if they go and chomp down all that res. Again, they stop biting res at some point. Occasionally they'd get one where they'd, take down 1 RT, but there's just so little. There's just so little that's gone down so far. Here, they're getting the gating cross. Colt and Boom obviously have spotted it. Terran has a shotgun. Trademark shows up with an LMG. And they can't really engage at this just because they're all skulks. As you can see, there goes Terran taking down Boom. And Flo is able to hold off the 2 skulks over here just because, well, if they go in on him, they're just going to die a horrible, horrible death. Wake gets chipped down to half health by that shotgun, tries to have County move in. He only has 1 shot left, but that was enough. That was enough for Flo to be able to clear that. He'll get his armor back by welding up that RT. And that's it. They're going to lose their other... Cheesecake is going to lose their last Harvester over here. And that'll be it for them, because they do have the fade up. They have Colt and Zoloco up as fades, but the thing is, it is so late for them. It is so dangerous for them. As you can see, Zoloco's already down to half health and no energy. They don't have metabolize. They only have 1 biomass. They don't have the biomass for metabolize. That's a lot of res that they'd have to go and be able to keep before they could get up to the 3rd biomass and get metabolize. Zoloco's kind of trapped, so he better get the heck out there. He's able to get out. There is nobody over there in Comp Lab to pinch him. He's also at full health, so that also helps. So here we go. We got Flo and Terran just kind of chilling out. They do get a gate up there in Crevice. I don't know why they didn't just go for a summit gate, because that's, a little bit closer, but I guess it's close enough. Here we got Flo. Oh, there's a cat pack. And Tap is probably going to go down to Zoloco over here. Colt is a little bit chipped. Zoloco, for some reason, goes into the giant group of Marines. However, guess what? Power went down. All they need to do is clear out and get the comm out of that chair and take down those Marines. They're all squishy. Get them. There I was thinking that this was all going to end up being terrible. But here, if they take down the Marines, all that's left is Terran.
Command station under attack.
1 fade down. Doesn't matter. Guess what? All that's left is the guy in the box, and they take it. I obviously didn't notice all the skulks going over there, but good job, Cheesecake. We're going to another map. Nice. So, that power play in Vale, we had that done again. So I believe it is Cheesecake's map vote again, and we'll see how this goes. What the heck are you guys talking about in chat? Come on, guys. I don't even know what you're talking about. I know there was mention of Dota earlier, but I have no freaking idea because I don't play that. Anyway, we're waiting on the next map. I guess. Alright, we're waiting around here. Alright, so that was interesting. As I said earlier at the beginning of this map, they those vents, man, those vents. They definitely allow for silly things like that. And this map is small enough that obviously we just saw that happen. They were able to, while the Marines were way out of position, take down the power. I guess that Barcode was probably so focused on trying to keep those Marines alive when there were fades, right up in their face, that, yeah, that they were able to take down that power. The fun part is when chat ends up getting there and it's gonna end up with, obviously Cheesecake taking the round. Alright, but yeah, we're just waiting on Cheesecake to pick another map here. So I think Cheesecake is having issues picking their next map or something. Let's see if there was anything. Oh no, people want mod to clean the chat. It's dangerous. Come on, guys. There we go. There's the chat. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that reactor. Remember that power node that didn't get welded? Oh. What have we got here? Oh, we're going to Zombie. We are gonna be going to Zombie, it looks like. Theoretically. At least that's what Fuglif said, so I'm assuming that's where we're actually going. I love the reactions, they're awesome. Yeah, power nodes. Out to power node, guys. Alright, where's the map change? Alright, there we go. Now we got the map change, because apparently... Yeah, we're waiting. Everybody's waiting on somebody else to start the map vote. Yeah. Alright, so we're moving on to Zombie as our next map. I love the confusion. But yeah, okay. Moving on to the last map. Or what will potentially be the last map. Of course, Cheesecake can always bring it back and just leave T6 sitting on 3 wins forever and end up winning it because there are that many rounds left. That is kind of what we saw happen between Elfir and 2 hours later back earlier in the week. We had Elfir having a good strong start. They lost a round in... Was it on Zombie? Oh gosh, I don't even remember now. Either way, they lost the 3rd round and ended up... but took the fourth round, and then 2 hours later proceeded on to win the remaining rounds. And so, like, that very well could happen. Except for I think that would be considerably more frustrating just because of how decisive T6's victories were in those first set. All right. Wait for some textures here to not look stupid. Okay, there we go. Obviously, welcome to Zombie. For anyone who doesn't play competitively, this map is played a considerable amount more in the competitive scene rather than the pub scene. The pub scene, I think, is scared of everything new, and weird, and Jambi is definitely weird. It's a crazy Frankenstein map that was made by multiple different mappers. I don't know exactly how many, but quite a few people worked on this map. And it's at times a little bit jarring between rooms, but definitely from the top down versus the what you see from the field, it looks totally different. We'll just fly around here while we're waiting for the teams to ready up. Seif coming into Waste, which obviously is one of the alien starts. They start in the top half of the map, and of course we're coming in here and into Oxy, one of the most important rooms. They just, send people right up here, marine-wise, and set up in this room. It pretty much locks the aliens in, which will be T6 for this round. And so if Cheesecake is able to set up in here, it kind of potentially could spell T6's doom unless they're able to go and, wander through offload or trash ejection and head on into base and cause another beacon or something. But I just remember when I played this map when I first played this map, it looks totally different, or at least it feels totally different than it does from the top down, which I saw a lot of the top down because, I watched competitive stuff too. Alright. As I'm taking a look, people want, taking a look at chat again. Pax logo, best logo. But yeah, we've got everybody in here. Same setups, it looks like. Nobody randomly showing up that wasn't already playing. So we'll just be waiting for people to ready up and see how it goes. Alright, speaking of one ready up, there's T6. They are ready to go. As I said, we'll have to see. We'll probably see a 2 or 3 Marine group wandering up here to Oxy. As I said, it is a very key room. If they're able to get an armory block in either of these doors, depending on where the the start is for aliens, you can pretty much block the entire door with the armory, and then you can't system there, so you're pretty much stuck then going down one of the sides of the map, and it just can go downhill from there. But at this point, we'll just see how it goes. I mean, as I said, Cheesecake's been doing a pretty poor job at biting res at this point. Let me bring up the last round here thing, if I can hit the right buttons. Oh, never mind. We got it ready up, so here we go into round, what is this? 5. Round 5. Cheesecake versus Table for 6. Possibly the last round, or possibly not. We'll see what happens. Alright, Waste start, T6. No gorge or anything, they're just gonna get the heck out of base. Meanwhile, down here we've got an arms lab getting sort of power built by 3 guys. Well, of course, there goes our 2 group towards Oxy while my bird yells. We got Boom and Wake, and Tap and Flow are the 2 that are also there. They back up a little bit. Tap took a reasonable chunk of damage. They are gonna go for armor 1 right off the bat. Unsurprisingly, I suppose. KMG's waiting around the corner over there. Boom and Wake are actually split up at this point, so if they converged on one of them, they'd have a very easy time at picking them off. Okay, now with the doorway right there, it'd be, harder to make that happen. But while Boom was back over here, it would have been a lot easier to do. Tap again gets taken down to half health. Boom backs up a little bit, and looks like they're just going to try and cap it. Zloak was actually hanging out in this little vent here, which is actually really good for base rushing. If you take a quick look at the map, you can see that that's a good way to sort of skip the guy in repairs and just go into shipping where there's nothing exciting and go right into base. At the moment, we're still having a little bit of a little standoff over here. It looks like they may be waiting to cap over here in Gravity. Well, it looks like with the T6 is sort of setting up to possibly crush this. We have Flow and Trademark just kind of waiting. And Wake and Boom are also kind of waiting, but they need one more res tick to be able to drop the RT there. Trademark's moving a little bit far forward. Wake's looking the wrong direction. He's going to go down to Trademark. Boom is all alone now. Flow actually moves around basically the wrong side of the wall, and so Trademark does go down to Boom. Here comes Tap. He gets a little bit of chip damage. Here comes Colt, though, but who is missing his armor, but is otherwise okay. Actually, why is Colt backing away? Now he's going to go over there and try and save the RT, which KMG is munching on over there in, repairs. Flow is going to potentially go down here. Nope. Oh, yep. Okay. Nice pistoling there, but Boom does go down over in Gravity, and they did not get that capped. We actually had two extractors already go down somehow, which seems a little bit odd because it doesn't seem like it lines up correctly. Either way, the one over here is definitely going down because there are 3 skulks in there, and even if they took out KMG, there's Trademark right around the wall. Oh, Trademark actually goes down. KMG goes down. So now it's just Terran versus Colt. Colt misses a bunch of the pistol shots, and that RT is basically, yeah, you can sneeze on it and die. Boom comes in at the last moment here. He's able to take down Terran, and he'll be able to recap that. Meanwhile, up here we have Zoloko versus Flo. Zoloko goes down. They had pushed up all the way up the left side of the map, and that's where they ended up. Alright. Taking a look at this, we have another 2 going towards Wake there in the hallway. Terran and Tap just kind of waiting around. They did get a parasite on him, so he, they know he's there. He knows that they're there. They actually have this nice little PvE group with the Crag and the Whip, so that way to defend Oxy from that side, which is the normal way that most people end up going into Oxy. At this point, since they know that the Crag is there, they may end up going from the pipeline side instead. 1 skulk down. Both the remaining skulks, Flo and Terran, both quite chipped, but that Crag is, literally right around the corner, so they can heal up, but they choose not to, and they just continue out onto the map. All right, we have Zlogo there in the vent, and Terran and Barcode are both over there. They're just that's a really good waste of time. They have the comm out of the hive. I mean, just think about this. There's nothing being built right now because Barcode's in there. They can't use Drifter stuff because Barcode's in there. Oh, here comes Tap up as a lurk. I wonder if he got misted there before. Oh, Boom got the power up, but KMG is just waiting at the RT for Boom to get around the whip and basically get far enough away that he can just safely bike that. All their res over here on the right side is blinking. Colt is able to save the one there in repair, but the Harvester here is probably going to go down because there is no cyst over there at the moment. So that thing has just been left to die. Meanwhile, over here we got Wake over there working on that RT over in pipe. Here comes Tap. Obviously came in when Wake needed to reload. County's going to go down, but Wake finally is able to reload and get some reasonable damage there on Tap. However, he didn't have his pistol reloaded, so he ends up going down, and Tap gets out of there with, like 1/3 health. So like, whoever that was, looks like it was Zoloko there, and Gravity gets taken down, and the RT also in Gravity is going to go down as well. Boom is there at the moment, but versus a Skulk and a Lurk, he's able to pick off Trademark, but and he's actually able to reload, so he's going to get some good damage into Flow, but that Crag is still there around the corner, so he's going to be able to heal up and stay alive at this point, unless, he really overcommits. They're getting the RT back up, but here come both the Lurks. They're able to immediately pounce on Boom. Well, I guess flap and chomp his head off, but here goes Colt as well. That RT did get finished, but it's going to go down almost immediately. The one over here in repair also just went down. There's KMG and Trademark both over in that side. Zoloko's just kind of trying to pick them off and not having much luck because he keeps ducking around the corner. Trademark's trying to bait him in, but obviously if you hear somebody doing that, you just pretty much know that there's somebody else. So it's just a matter of trying to trigger that attack so you can just pick them off, which Boom is able to do. I mean, that is the bad thing. It's one thing to, like, make it sound like you accidentally make a noise, but when you're sitting there just biting the air, it's like, oh wow, you're saying that there is somebody else waiting there. I guess you could try and fake them out and, pretend there's another Skulk there, but when there's actually another Skulk there, that just seems kind of silly to do. Alright, they just got cleared out up there in pipe. That was, Wake, it looks like. We have Boom over here versus KMG. KMG's under half health as a Skulk. Here comes Barcode out of the hive to come over there and try and help. Colt is running on over there, but he didn't make it in time to save Boom. Maybe going to get enough damage into KMG to be able to take him down, but he and Barcode at this point are holding off and keeping that RT safe. Taking a look at the res graph, 7 RTs down of Cheesecake. It's a very good ratio. It's that normal, take down an RT, Marine RT every minute or so. And it's definitely happened. They're a little bit ahead of that, so that's good for Table for 6. They are going to take down another one here. Because there's no way in heck that Boom with his shotgun is going to be able to take down 2 Skulks and a Lurk. He can take down those 2 Skulks. Actually, he doesn't even take down the 2 Skulks. There's a shotgun now there, right on the wall, right on the floor, and that's going to be a bit of a pain to cap. Here comes Connie. He's going to try and get that back, but obviously Tap was just hanging out on the little bar thingy in the center, and he's not going to be able to get that back because here they come, and he just gets completely wrecked. Zoloko's gonna probably attempt to get over there as well, but it's probably far enough that it's just not gonna happen. He's gonna run as fast as he can. Oh, he actually got it! That must have been like a second away from popping. Alright, Wake got a little bit of damage on there on the RT in Oxy. But the cyst there is still alive, so... Or actually, it needs to resist, so he might actually get quite a bit of damage on that, so the next person in there will be able to go and take that down fairly easily if they don't put a Crag in there. Boom is versus two Skulks over here in repairs. Trademark and KMG are both going to be able to go and take him down, you know, with quite a bit of damage, but they're going to be able to take down that RT as well. Taking another look at this. 9 RTs down in 7 minutes. They're doing some serious res biting work here. They'll have to recap that again. And here comes Tap. Wake needs to back up. He needs to get back with his buddy. I mean, they have not been winning these engagements, obviously. So they need to get back and not be going onesie-twosie, especially since it's basically fade timing. The fades are going to be happening pretty much now. They're up to 36 res. I don't know why they haven't gone fade yet. But they should be going fade any second now. Just watching Zoloko and company just kind of hang out over there in EC. Boom hasn't recapped. Does have a shotgun, takes out one of them. Here goes Trademark. Trademark is actually able to take out Boom. And that RT is that shotgun is probably pretty much dead. The RT over here in Gravity also going to be dead. Now, where are our fades? Where are the fades, guys? Are they just being silly? I mean, they have metabolized almost up, so it's not like they're skipping fades. It's a matter of the fades just haven't faded yet. Alright, Flo just taking out Connie over there in Skylights. And Cheesecake hasn't been able to hold more than their third RT. It's like they get that sort of locked down, so they sort of have their naturals, except for when they have Gravity instead. But just they aren't doing the work together that they need to do. They're just getting picked off a lot. We take a look at the team kills. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close, all things considered, but I feel like they just keep dying at, like, really inconvenient places. They aren't doing the lane blocking, so their res keeps going down. You're seeing County over here versus Tap, and he isn't able to win that engagement, though Tap had barely any armor left. So if he was almost to the point where they could have maybe taken him out, possibly, if they got lucky. We have Trademark up his fade. Looks like KMG also just went fade. I find it interesting that they're choosing to go Kara instead of Regen. Regen is very powerful for the higher life forms. I mean, you don't have to worry if you get trapped in an event somewhere. You could just hang out there for a little bit, and by the time they boost up, it's entirely possible that you'll be ready to get the heck out. There are 4 Marines over here in Gravity, and I think they know that. So obviously they can't engage that, and neither can the Marines really engage that either, because the combination of the whip and the 2 fades. They have to wait for the Marines to come in. Trademark might actually screw this up totally, although he does spot that Colt and Zoloko are right around the corner. If res going down on both sides of the map, we have too many people here looks like they're going to take shotguns into Oxy and see if they could get maybe another gate in there. Problem with that is, of course, is that they know that there are that many Marines there. They could just go around and go to base, or go to the gate, whatever the case may be. It looks like they're going to be going to base. We see a Lurk and a Skulk heading that way. There's Flo, there's Terran, but here comes Connie coming back in. They are on the gate. Skulk gets picked off. Flo gets chipped down a little bit, and they're not going to be able to get the gate up. They need to go back to the gate. They're going to lose that. Zoloko actually, I think, phased back through, it looks like, potentially, so they are actually able to save that for now. They're going to have to get that second IP up just so that they don't have to worry about, you know, one initial thing. And it looks like at this point they did clear this chance, so they might actually be able to hold on this. They'll have to get an armory block up at some point just so that they can actually hold it, because at this point it's pretty far. But that's part of the problem too, is that, I mean, there's 3 Marines busy up there, and here goes Zoloko, who ends up going down over there, so that gate is open. They can just go over there and chomp on that unless there's somebody in base, which there is. There's Connie in base. Connie might actually want to go back and get that shotgun if you can. Here come the fades moving in. Colt may actually go down to a Skulk, but KMG goes down. He gets stuck on the bone wall, and Trademark also goes down. Both the fades are down. So, whoops, 2-6. That was a bit bad, and they're going to be able to recap that shotgun. The one over here, looks like Zoloko might have picked it up. I'm not sure. Looks like they assisted in a base, which is very aggressive, obviously. But the problem with that is that at this point, they kind of just lost their fades. So, whoops. So those lurks are gonna have to do some serious work here. Obviously, at this point, they are up to... Where is he? Terran just got Onos, though. So they lost their fades, but they got an Onos. They're gonna lose the gate there in gravity unless somebody phases through, but here's the thing, they're grinding it properly so nobody can get through, so that gate is just toast. There's the Onos all by himself over there. I'm hoping that they do something clever with an armory block and maybe just like block the Onos in if he comes in. They actually dropped the hive over here in pipe, obviously. It's, it just finished. So there's that hive, and they probably just heard the little noise of it, becoming not dead or not, inactive, whatever you want to call it. Either way, now they're fighting a lurk that is, right around there. Is actually leave the gate unguarded, so that they're gonna lose their position in Oxy because everybody went off chasing the lurk. But they don't have enough people there to, take down the hive either, and they're just kind of ignoring it at this point. They're gonna go wandering out through Oxy, trying to escape. They're gonna lose the power, or they're wandering out through Oregon, sorry. And at this point, it's just like, you guys should have just held in there, and possibly noticed the hive earlier, because I didn't notice the hive earlier either. So it looks like at this point they're moving the gate over to Oregon. It's obviously not the greatest gate in comparison. Terran's actually not at full health at this point. So a little bit of a bone wall, just delaying them a little bit while the Onos probably moves around to get in position, wherever the Onos feels like getting in position. But again, T6 is up to 7 RTs. Look at this. They just took off. And they've been really working at the res. Look at that nice little pyramids that have happened. Boom, and Zaloka get trapped by the power node. Tap goes in to try and bite him. Tap goes down because he, gets really greedy trying to bite the... and then there goes the other lurk. Both the lurks have gone down. So they have an Onos, and I think the lurks can re-lurk, though. So that was kind of silly. These guys are just, tossing their life forms just because they can at this point, it seems like. They have plenty of res. I mean, look at that. 6 RTs, another one growing. What's the one that's regrowing? It'll be the one in, what's it? Oxy. Umbra has been started. Okay, yeah, sure. They don't have any lurks right now, but that's easy. They can just have flow relurk, and Tap can go fade or whatever. He's almost... They're at 50 res almost. They could just wait and have KMG lurk or something, and have Flow wait until Onos. Flow and Tap wait for Onos. Nope, Tap went fade. That's relatively unsurprising. They don't want to do the three Onos and just end it. They want to have a fade up. And so here we go. We got Terran moving into base. Wake sees them. He knows that they're there. They're going to call the beacon. And so there's all the Marines back in base. Look at the map again, though. It's very green. It is like a highly green map. And there are just cysts everywhere. Umbra's done. And yeah, I mean, yes, they killed a lot of life forms, but it's too late. They have too much res. They don't, I mean, look at this. They have a whip over here in repairs. That's really annoying. Oh, you got whipped. Zaloka got whipped. And Terran's just kind of cruising along. There's so much infestation around that he doesn't even need to really play all that safe. They can just throw a bone wall down. All he needs to do is just yell at them and mumble, and, well, he's safe. I mean, because nobody's taking down the cyst chains. Obviously, they're trying to get repairs back at this point. Cheesecake is on 2 RTs, but it looks like Flow is up as another Onos. KMG is back up as Fade. So at this point, people have started, I think, being a little bit kind of YOLO on T6's side of things. Tap does end up clearing that up over in repairs. They didn't lose the whip even. It's down to 16%. They actually dropped the gravity hive. And while Wake is like right there, so they have zero fear. They have 2 Onai and Umbra. Why would they be afraid of anything? Yeah, Trademark actually ended up lurking in that mess, and it looks like yeah, they're just gonna probably go in and end this. And they're just gonna, use that Umbra, have the Onai kill all the Marines, and then all the shotguns will just evaporate, and that'll be it pretty much here. Especially with the 3rd hive growing, there's you know, they don't have the res to do arcs, and even if they went and managed to melt all these life forms, they'd be up soon enough that it wouldn't even really be much of a problem. Okay, sure, they'd have a lot of skulls. Oh, nope, KMG's able to get out. I mean, they're even planning in case somebody dies. In case somebody dies, they're gonna have a gorge. They can just go bile bomb everything, and that'll be it. I mean, they just dropped the harvester there. All the naturals have been capped, or will be capped. Flo actually might end up going down. He has a nice long hallway here. He has no armor. They have the bone wall there, but they had an Onos pushing in there, so Flo is able to escape because there was a beacon forced by the other Onos. If they're just gonna sit there and trade on each side, they're gonna have, you know, one Onos push one side, the other one push the other, and that'll all be that's needed. Except for it looks like at this point they're grouping up to maybe do another full push here. They're beaconing again because there's a fade and a lurk in the base. That allows the aliens to regroup over here in pub. It's like they're gonna build a yeah, there's the crag over there, so they're waiting to heal up. They're just waiting around at this point so they can go and just end it. And here we go. Here comes the Onos. Here comes one of the fades. The lurk. Chaos everywhere. Flow's actually pretty low. They're going to beacon again and see if they can get people respawn with 2 IPs. That'll have a couple people respawn. They're just going to see if they can keep beaconing and get enough people alive, but that's it. They're now out of res. And so this is it. Here we go. This is the last round. So GG for them. Table for 6 gets to be the team that faces 2 hours later in the finals, whenever those happen to be scheduled. So I think that that week off might have hurt Cheesecake a bit, because I know they were playing a lot better in the previous weeks before this one. Zoloco's still not F4ing. Okay, there we go. There's the banner. So alright, that's the last of the semifinals.
Well played, bro. Good game, man.
GG's.
Hey, good game, guys. Well played.
Alright. Alright, so as I said, that is it for the semifinals this weekend. That is also it for the, that's it for the games this weekend. That is also it for the semifinals. All that's left from here on are all finals. We obviously have one for each div. None of them have been played yet, and so those will probably be scheduled in the upcoming week. I know that, let's see, is everything, I'd have to go take a look and see who's actually won what, but I don't want to spoil at least the premiere thing yet for me. So I'll have to go and watch that right after this. What are people say? Oops. Alright, but yeah, alright, that was it. Thank you for watching, guys. I suspect, as I said, we'll be seeing the final matches being scheduled hopefully over this next week. There'll probably be quite a few next weekend. So keep an eye out for that. They'll all be listed on the NSL website and posted about on the NSL Twitter. And I don't know whether we're going to end up with a Facebook group soon or what. So those will be there too. But, you know, keep an eye out. Look forward to those matches. They should all be good. So thank you for watching, guys. And see you when I see you.